All right, so Two Scoops put me on assignment. He is sending me to check in with the athletes that will be competing at Knockout Fight League's next fight night on March 17th. So I'm headed to King's MMA in Huntington Beach, California to check in with Laura Anderson.
Stay to the right to Beach Boulevard, Huntington Beach.
I did like a couple classes, and then I trained for Nogi Worlds as a blue belt, and I won that. And then after that, I kind of thought, like, okay, like I could keep doing Nogi and I could keep doing jiu-jitsu, or I could learn all the martial arts.
Right.
And I can incorporate everything, and I can just fight. So that's when I decided, like, you know what, I want to be a fighter. So I went to Japan to train for MMA, and I thought I was gonna like start my career out there and just, you know. And my coach had this different idea. He's always has like the big picture idea. He's like, no, we got to get you settled in like a good base. Like you need to know like a base before going into
That big
MMA. Yeah, you need to be comfortable at least on the ground or on your feet. So let's do wrestling because you're already good at Nogi. And he sent video to different colleges, and the only ones who looked at me were Oklahoma and Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know about Oklahoma, but Canada's kind of far away. But I ended up doing
cold.
I know, exactly. But I ended up doing a recruitment trip up there, and the coach, he's like, yeah, come up, I'll have you wrestle. So I went up there, and I thought I was gonna just wrestle like during practice, but it was actually like an event in downtown Vancouver.
Oh, cool.
And he never told me. He's like, okay, you're gonna wrestle our Canadian national champion. Yeah. So, but before this, I hadn't wrestled like freestyle, so I didn't know what was folk style, what was freestyle, and what was Greco. I just knew what was wrestling.
Right.
Yeah, or what was catch wrestling. And I ended up beating her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I didn't even know I was winning. I was just like kept thinking like, oh my god, I'm down. So I ended up beating her, and then he's like, yeah, you did good. You're gonna wrestle again. And so he like put me up against another girl on the team, and I ended up beating her. And he's like, okay, yeah, you can come on the team. So I walked on the team, and I like decided like, man, I really want to do well, you know. So I ended up taking the 123 spot, then moved down to 116, and then ended up being two-time All-American, and then wanted to pursue that further, and I really wanted to shoot for the Olympics, and then I wanted to represent Mexico.
They have their opinions, so how do you deal with that? And then, you know, just like, yeah, what's your reaction you've gotten from the people that know you?
In the very beginning, like when I was at my like infancy with it, just like starting in jiu-jitsu and stuff, and I was really just told my parents like, man, I want to do this full time. And my parents, I think they thought it was a phase. You know, I was like, oh, she's really into like working out. Right. She's really into just like grappling, you know. Right. And maybe she goes because of the guys, you know. And then they came and they saw me compete at. So I did a Worlds as a white belt for an East, and I won that one. And my dad's all like, oh, okay, yeah, you're pretty good. And then they went to go see me at my at the Worlds for Nogi as a blue belt, and then I won that one. They're like, oh no, whoa, like, okay, you take it seriously. My dad's like, okay, Laura, well, what are you gonna do? Like, you gotta get a job. You know, my dad's a doctor, so he's like, you need to have a professional job. Like, you know, like, I'm super inspired by him because, man, he went to Mexico, he made it out here, he's doing well. Like, and he always tells me, he's like, man, for like 2 or 3 years out of my life, I just spent the whole 3 years just in a room studying. I isolated myself. I didn't do anything. Like, all I did was study. And sometimes it's hard for me to kind of explain to him, like, that's what I have to do now. Like,
yeah,
that's like,
I got my work ethic from you.
Yeah, I got my work ethic from you. Like, you place yourself in a room, like, just studying. Like, I'm placing myself with people in gyms, just studying and just learning, because that's what I need to do to get better, you know? Like, that's what he needed to do to pass his exams and to treat patients. Like, this is what I need to do to, like, just dominate people. Yeah. I remember going to another city in Leon, and this guy was trying to, like, create a wrestling team for the kids, you know? But it was just like, there was no mats. So I remember like our first practice being inside a boxing ring, and then we did our hand fighting on the cement ground. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I do not want to get hurt right now. Like, this is just meant, like, do I go hard, do I go easy, like, what do I do? But I mean, like I said, like, you work with what you got, you know? Right. And that's exactly what they did, and man, they have some pretty good guys down there. Even now, like, it's hard. Like, I'll have some moments where, like, I'll be at practice and I'll come up to a guy, I'm like, you want to practice my sport? Like, oh no. And then I'm like, why? And then it's like, I'm gonna go with him. And I asked him first, right? But he'd rather go with the guy, and I get it, right? So it would be cool if there were more girls, you know. So I wouldn't have to go like, okay, I got chosen over because I'm a girl, or I'm ignored because I'm a girl, or not taken seriously because I'm a girl, you know?
Right.
But yeah, it'd be so much more awesome if for example, the girl at King's, Sabina, she's amazing.
Yeah.
I love practicing with her. Like, she's so tough. I wish I had a million more Sabinas to practice with, you know? A million more girls who are just so passionate and so invested in being great. And right now we don't, like, only me and her at the gym, you know?
Right.
I wish there was more. I trained over at ACC with Fuji. Killer MMA fighter, like serious, like has serious leg locks. And I remember training with her, and it was just like, man, like I want to be on this level. Like I want to be at her level, and then in a little bit more. But definitely, like that's the opening up maybe a gym, maybe becoming a nutritionist, long-term goal. You know, something that like plan B. The plan A is definitely fight and become world champ, and then become world champ again, and then become world champ again, and then again. That would be something that'd be like, oh, yeah. It just feels like so real. Like now that I have to fight, and now that I could go pro this year, I could do so many things. It's just like you said, now it's just like it'll happen when it happens, right? Because you see so many people, like I see so many of my like high school friends on Instagram and on Facebook, and they're getting married and they're pregnant and they're having kids, and you see like, oh, they already have a family. Like I should have a family. And then I sit back and think like, no, like I do have a family. Mine just looks different than theirs. Right. A lot of I always think like a lot of great things are hard. And if you want to accomplish something great, you're gonna have to go through the hard stuff, and the hard stuff is often the lonely stuff. And if I ever had a problem, or if I ever sad, if there's ever anything on my mind, my coach will always be there, my dad will always be there, my mom will always be there. My other coach will always be there. So just because my life doesn't look like this other girl's life or this other guy's life, or doesn't mean anything. Like I'm pursuing this thing that I really want to accomplish, and I gotta be fine just giving myself all to it.
Hi, I'm Laura Gallardo. Come check me out at Knockout Promotions March 17th.